Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Let's now take you to the streets of the Joburg CBD as parts of Anderson Street remain closed to motorists this morning. On Monday, a fire erupted in an underground tunnel, leaving some residents in the dark since then. City Power has been hard at work to restore power to the area, but technicians have encountered all sorts of snags. Our reporter Tshegohaco Moagi is in the Joburg CBD to find out more. Tshegohaco, very good morning to you once again. I know that you've been speaking to some residents and business owners who've been affected by this power outage.
Well, yes, indeed, Mpo, and residents and business owners really just speaking about the inconvenience of this power outage. And just to give us, a bit more clarity as to what has taken place here, we do understand that the fire started underground. It's a tunnel fire that took place on Monday. So residents have been without power since Monday, essentially, when this fire actually took place. Business owners also having to find alternative ways to, keep the lights on and to keep their businesses going. We know that one of the businesses in this area actually has got a generator on at the moment. But besides that, the other generator that you are hearing is the one from City Power as they try to light up underground to ensure that, the technicians are able to see what is currently going on and what they need to do underground. But to give us more details about how far they are, whether they really will be restoring power by this weekend, I'm joined by Charles Motlaka from City Power. Charles, thank you so much for your time this morning. Now let's just start off with how far are you? Are you still confident that by this weekend you'll be able to restore power to the residents of the city of Johannesburg?
Thank you very much. Yes, we have started work, I'll say 2 days after the fire, because it was still hot. As you know, it started Monday, and then on Tuesday, early hours of the morning after the EMS has extinguished it, the tunnel was still extremely hot. So we couldn't put any personnel, and we had to source the air quality people to come and check the quality of air underground, if it's safe for people to go in. We went inside with them, and then they advised us that at this point in time we couldn't, at that point in time, we couldn't proceed. But we also sourced the structural engineer to come and look at how damaged the structure is, so that it must not cave on our on our people when they will be starting working here. So yeah, those were the delays, and then we started work. Possibly that was Wednesday, to get the team out, remove the damaged cables underground, and unfortunately there was a delay in terms of the rubble, because we never thought that there could be so much rubble. If you can look up to there, there's a lot of it that came out of there. But we also took some of those damaged cables, because they were laying here on the tar, back to the head office, so that they can go back to the salvage yard. I must say that we are hopeful that by end of this weekend we should be able to restore. We managed to bring back the majority of our customers that were affected. It's just on the side of Selby and Village Main, Central and others, even where we are now. It's just it's the ones that are still outstanding. But we are hopeful. We are on track. The team has been hard at work for the past few days, and even exhaustion is starting to creep in. It's really inconveniencing. But at this point in time, I will say we really don't know what is the cause of the fire. But we should be able to inform once the investigation is done and completed about that.
Now, Charles, you mentioned that you don't know the cause of the fire, and we do know that even with the cables that we've seen lying around here, that is a threat in itself, isn't it, to City Power? But are you confident that there's a that this will not happen again? We understand that it has happened for the second time in the same spot.
Yeah, look, based on the fire can be sparked by many things. It could be due to the age of the network. Caused by that. It could also be caused by theft and vandalism, and as a result, or any other thing, as a result of that, we can't really say, but we do our best to make sure that our plants or our load centers or our substations, and they are being maintained, so that when this electricity flows through, it shouldn't have any problems, because in electrical infrastructure, when the fault spark, it can do anything. If it finds a weak point on the cable, it can also cause a fire. So there's quite a number of factors, but we do our best, and then we do maintain, we do everything possible. And then luckily enough, the design of our network in the inner city in particular is designed in such a way that when there is a bit of a challenge in terms of faults, we can be able to backfeed from one point to the other, so that we can bring back some of the customers that were affected from that ring. But unfortunately, in this case, the damage is so huge that we were not able to bring back everyone. Hence, you see some of these customers that are here are still affected. But the majority of the entire block, it's on in the inner city, and then we are still left with the Selby one, which we are hopeful, like I said, by the end of this weekend, we should be able to restore.
Now, before we get to the issue of cable theft, I understand that there were 2 security guards who were guarding this particular area. Of course, as I mentioned, there's cables behind you, and that in itself is a threat. But can you just give us details of their deaths? We understand that they have now been killed.
Yeah, well, it's a very sad moment, and City Power sent its condolences, and the CEO of City Power and the leadership at large, they send their condolences to the families affected of the deceased. Cable theft, my sister, it's a really serious problem. It cost the city a lot of millions, not millions, billions. And as a result of that, we also appeal to the community, to be our ears and eyes on the ground. And in some of the suburbs in the areas of Johannesburg, where we partner with the private security, to assist us in the likes of Highlands North, it has a bit subsided a little bit. So we also ask, because this thing it's no longer about City Power. It's about the impact it has to the livelihood of our residents. I mean, for City to 3 to 4 days without power, as things stand, it's a very long time. And then we ask that the community must assist us. Even though we do have a security, we can't be all over the place at the same time. It is a sad story, and the sad thing is that they were guarding us here. That's where they were, and they had finished removing the rubble, from the cable, from the underground, and then they just delivered most of the damaged cable at the Hoizens, our head office salvage yard, and then they went to go do their round patrolling, where normally some of these intruders of cable theft, they go through into the tunnel and check, and then unfortunately we hear this incident has happened. It's actually a sad day, because when you talk to people here, the next thing you hear that they're no more there. It's really, really sad. It's really, really sad.
So you've mentioned, of course, the issue of cable theft. How often are you having to deal with cable theft in the city of Johannesburg?
The city of Johannesburg deals with cable theft every day. Every single day. Hence, we even have the operation of our own securities internally to deal with these other issues. Every day, we deal with cable theft. And we believe it's a syndicate. And we actually appeal, as an administrator, we actually appeal to the government to tighten the serious law around the non-ferrous metals. Because this situation, it's really getting out of hand. The country is going down with this cable theft. It disrupts the economy. It disrupts livelihood. It just makes everything to be extensive. Without power, we are dealing with load shedding. Now you have to deal with, things that are inflated by people. And I mean, we really, really appeal that can there be laws, stringent laws, and they should trickle down, not from national point of view only, they should trickle down to the municipalities. And then we appeal that the government must deal with that, put stringent, tighten laws and deal with this non-ferrous metal. Let them be regulated properly in a manner that is beneficial to the people of this country. That's our appeal.
Charles, I just want to quickly ask you the last question. When will you get a report, just briefly for us, as to what has caused this fire here?
Well, our investigation team, and they will be able to deal with that. I'm not in a position to give you, because I don't know what is that they will need and so forth. What other resources will they need to deal with this? But I'm sure they are hard at work. They will be able to give us the indication, and I'm sure City Power will also give the report to the city, and then I'm sure you'll be able to get it once it's out.
All right, thank you so much, Charles Moshaka, from the City Power, really just giving us details around, what has taken place here, and saying that they are really on track to ensure that the power is restored to the other residents here in this Joburg CBD. But he's also mentioned for the issue of, this fire could have been sparked by anything. And of course, the big problem being around cable theft within the city of Johannesburg.
Very well, Tshegohaco Moagi. Let's leave it there for now.